Hi there, my dear listeners. I'm so happy to have you join me today for another episode of our English podcast. I hope you're doing well, feeling good, and ready for a fun and relaxing conversation. Today's topic is one that I think everyone can relate to, no matter where you are in the world, no matter your age or your background. It's something that brings people together, something that connects cultures, and something that always gives us joy. Yes, you guessed it, it's food and cooking. Now, I know that when we talk about food, it's not just about eating. It's about memories, emotions, traditions, and creativity. Cooking is not just a task we have to do to survive, it's also an art, a way to express love, and sometimes even a way to heal. So today, let's take some time to explore this delicious topic together. I'll tell you about my favorite dish, a simple recipe you can try at home, and some stories from my own experience with food. Let's start with my favorite food. Honestly, it's a little hard to choose because I love so many different dishes. But if I had to pick one, I would say my all-time favorite is spaghetti carbonara. This is a classic Italian dish that is so simple yet so rich in flavor. What I love about carbonara is that you don't need a lot of fancy ingredients to make it. You just need pasta, eggs, cheese, black pepper, and a bit of cured pork like pancetta or bacon. The magic happens when you combine these basic ingredients into something creamy, comforting, and absolutely delicious. I remember the first time I tried to make carbonara myself. I was probably about 16 or 17 years old. I had seen a cooking show on TV where the chef made carbonara, and it looked so easy that I thought, why not give it a try? I went to the small grocery store near my house and bought the ingredients. Back then, I didn't really know much about cooking, but I followed the instructions carefully. I boiled the pasta, cooked the bacon, and then mixed the eggs and cheese together. The tricky part was combining everything without turning the eggs into scrambled eggs. I was so nervous, but when I finally plated the dish and took my first bite, I was amazed. It actually tasted good. That was the moment I fell in love with cooking. Since then, I've made carbonara many times, and every time I do, it reminds me of that first attempt. It reminds me that cooking is about trying, learning, and enjoying the process, not just the final result. Now, let me share with you a very simple recipe that you can try at home. You don't need to be a professional chef to make it. This is a dish I like to call lazy garlic butter rice. It's perfect when you want something quick, tasty, and satisfying. Here's what you need. 1 cup of cooked rice, leftover rice works great. 2 cloves of garlic, finely chopped. 1 tablespoon of butter. A pinch of salt. A bit of black pepper. And, optional, a fried egg on top. Here's how you make it. First, heat a pan over medium heat and add the butter. When the butter melts, add the chopped garlic. Stir it around and let it cook until it's golden and fragrant. Be careful not to burn it because burnt garlic tastes bitter. Once the garlic is ready, add the rice. Stir everything together so the rice is coated with that delicious garlic butter. Season with a bit of salt and pepper. That's it. If you want, you can fry an egg and put it on top of the rice. This simple dish always makes me feel warm and happy. Sometimes the easiest recipes are the most comforting. Food has always played a big part in my life. When I think back to my childhood, some of my happiest memories are connected to food. I remember the smell of my mother's cooking filling the house on weekends. She would make dishes like chicken soup, fried fish, or sweet rice cakes. I would sit in the kitchen watching her work, and sometimes she would let me help by washing vegetables or stirring a pot. One memory that always makes me smile is about making dumplings with my grandmother. During special holidays, my family would gather to make dumplings together. We would sit around a big table with bowls of filling, stacks of dough wrappers, and little dishes of water to seal the dumplings. My grandmother was so skilled. She could fold dumplings quickly and perfectly, each one looking exactly like the next. I, on the other hand, was slow and my dumplings looked a bit funny, but no one minded. It was not about making perfect dumplings, it was about spending time together, sharing stories, and enjoying each other's company. Food connects us to our families, our cultures, and our memories. Even now, whenever I make dumplings, I think of those times and feel close to my grandmother, even though she's no longer with us. Another thing I love about food is how it brings people together, even strangers. Have you ever noticed how easy it is to start a conversation with someone when you're sharing a meal? Or how much more relaxed people seem when they're sitting at a table with good food in front of them? I've made many friends over shared meals, whether it was at a small local restaurant, a food festival, or even a picnic in the park. I think food has a special power to break down barriers. It doesn't matter if you speak different languages, come from different backgrounds, or have different beliefs. When you sit down and enjoy food together, you find common ground. You share smiles, laughter, and the simple joy of eating something delicious. Cooking for others is also one of the ways I show care and love. When I cook for my friends or family, I'm not just making food, I'm giving them a piece of my heart. I'm saying, I care about you, I want you to be happy and well. And honestly, when they smile and say, this is good, it makes me feel so proud and grateful. Now, let's talk a bit about trying new foods. I believe that being open to new flavors and dishes is like opening a door to new experiences and cultures. I remember the first time I tried sushi. I was a little unsure at first because the idea of eating raw fish seemed strange to me. But when I tasted it, I discovered that it was fresh, light, and full of subtle flavors. It opened my mind to Japanese cuisine, and now sushi is one of my favorite foods. The same happened when I tried Indian food for the first time. The rich spices, the warmth of the curry, the soft naan bread, it was like a whole new world of taste. Since then, I've made it a goal to try foods from as many cultures as I can. Every dish tells a story, and I want to hear as many of those stories as possible. Finally, I want to encourage you, my listeners, to explore your own connection with food and cooking. Don't worry if you're not a great cook. Start small. Try simple recipes, experiment with flavors, and most importantly, have fun. Cooking is not about being perfect. It's about creating, sharing, and enjoying. And if you can, cook with your loved ones. Invite a friend over and make something together, or cook for your family and surprise them with a homemade meal. I promise you, the memories you create will be as wonderful as the food itself. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. I hope this episode has inspired you to think about your favorite foods, to try a new recipe, or to share a meal with someone you care about. Remember, food is more than just fuel. It's a way to connect, to express, and to celebrate life. That's all for today's episode. I look forward to talking to you again soon. Until then, take care, stay curious, and keep exploring the delicious world of food and cooking. Bye for now.